Hi, Ron LeGrand here. Before we get started with the podcast, I thought you might want to know that I recently recorded a 90-minute online training about how we make so much money today in the terms business. That's on pretty houses in pretty neighborhoods, not the junk houses that we have to go rehab or wholesale. I go through step by step on exactly what I and thousands of my students are doing right now to make the fastest and the easiest money in real estate without using your money or credit. If you're interested in doing just that, go to thementorpodcast.com/free training. See you there.
Welcome to the Mentor Podcast, where the most highly motivated entrepreneurs come to get their weekly dose of financial stability with host Ron LeGrand, as well as other nationally recognized thought leaders who will teach you how to get, grow, and protect your wealth.
Hello, everybody. This is Ron LeGrand and Pam Patton with me today, and we're going to talk about VA services and why they're so important to you on this issue of the Mentor Podcast, which we air every Wednesday. By the way, if you aren't a member yet, go sign up so we can notify you, remind you of the podcast, but you'll also have access to a ton of previous podcasts. Really, really good stuff. So Pam, we're here today to talk about how to work less and make more. And you run our virtual assistant department at Global Publishing. So let's start by letting everybody know what the heck a virtual assistant is. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me on. So our virtual assistants really are a team of assistants that work virtually for all of our real estate investors, and they do tasks that they can do over the internet. Calling on properties to try and narrow down the prospects for them to purchase homes. For sale by owner homes.
Yeah, well, actually, they only work for our clients. They don't do anything for anyone else other than our real estate investor customers. So why don't we start with maybe going through a list of exactly what they can do for someone that's interested in getting all this workload off of their back? You mentioned they call people. That's obviously the most important job, is calling sellers. Let's go through your list, and then we'll come back to calling sellers and talk about that. Okay.
So my list is a little bit different whether you're buying property or you're selling property. So if you're trying to buy property, number one, of course, would be calling the FSBOs. But they can also try and locate FSBOs. So what I say, locate FSBOs, they're going to source for you on internet sites like Zillow or Trulia and other sites like that based on your criteria. So you're going to tell us what types of property you're looking for, what areas you're looking for, and then they go out and try and find it. You're on top of that going to be sending us lists of properties that you're going to get from our daily feed and the Gold Club FSBO lead service. So on top of that, they're also going to be trying to find people to contact you by posting ads on sites like Craigslist, Facebook, Hoobly, Oodle, different sites like that to try and get additional leads.
So they post I Buy House ads on all the free sites, and they know which sites to post them on. Okay, we don't have to tell them what sites. And they also call the ads that come into the people's inboxes every day that are in the Gold Club. And we need to make sure everybody knows what the Gold Club is here, because many of our listeners right now probably don't know what it is. So they get a feed of FSBOs every day. The VAs call those, but only the ones that you, the customer, sends to them to call. And if you tell the VA will also go on looking for leads that did not come through that source and call them as well. And they'll call all the leads that you generate, which I hope is most of them, and send to your VA to call. The VA is doing all the hard work by calling the seller and getting a property information sheet filled out. Just happen to have one here. Looks just like that, because that's a lead that I'm working right now. This is one that the VA generated, and I'm doing the closing call as soon as I can get the guy to answer the telephone. I just text him, Pam, for your information.
Good.
I haven't heard back from the turkey. All right. So anyway, the biggest thing you do is call these leads for these folk, takes a massive amount of work off of their back, and actually is the front end of their business, which is generating leads. So let's get this Gold Club thing done here so we don't forget it. It's a membership service. It's only $59 a month, has a massive amount of stuff on it. And one of the biggest values is the daily flow of leads from a service that scours 2,000 websites a day, and you get 2 counties and you get all the for sale by owner leads in those counties. You also get all my forms and agreements and hundreds of hours worth of lessons on endless subject matters and a whole endless a list of other things, including Gold Club points, which are worth $1 a piece for anything, most anything you spend at Global. So that's $59 a month, and we're doing all of that and telling you all of that because you got to be a Gold Club member to even get VA service, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, big deal though. You quit anytime you want. It's lousy $59 a month. So just, drink a half a dozen less cups of coffee or whatever as I take a swig of my coffee. All right. So call-in leads is obviously one of the biggest reasons people use our VAs, but we probably ought to dig deeper into that and explain why that's such an important thing to have somebody else do, not do yourself. And I can tell you right now, if you're going to be the one that's going to call these leads, you're going to burn out real quick because most of them do not want to take terms at all. We're looking for the ones that do. And by the way, about what percentage of the people you get on the phone nowadays, Pam, actually say they would be interested in talking about taking a monthly payment or having you make their monthly payment?
Yeah. Well, about of the people that we talk to, I would say about 20% we can get a PI sheet on, roughly, but only about 4% of the total leads that are sent to us are ever going to say yes, 100%. Okay.
But that's 4% of the total leads, but you don't hold about half of the total leads.
Yeah, a little bit less than half currently. It fluctuates throughout the year. And of course, it's after 3 attempts. So we'll try up to 3 times to contact the person on the phone. And there's a myriad of different reasons why we can't get a property information sheet filled out, but we'll close it out and it'll be done after 3 attempts. But we do recommend that you continue to follow up after 3 attempts on your own.
Well, let's go back to these numbers now because folks need to understand this. They think that they send you in 10 leads, that they're going to get 10 leads back that you contacted. All right, first of all, people just won't pick up the phone today. And when we say we get a hold of about half of them, that doesn't mean that half of them have a house for sale. A lot of them are sold and are listed and are just, whatever. So you get about half of them to pick up the phone and you talk to them. Well, what percentage of that half do you actually get property information sheets on?
Yeah, about 46% of those.
Okay. So now we're down to half of the half.
Yeah.
So out of the total amount of leads, we get property information sheets on about 25% of them, give or take, right?
Right.
Okay. So what percent of those property information sheets now do you think? You're up to about 15, 16, 17% of those.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now I hope you guys got all of that because those are the real numbers and I don't really care who's doing the calling and we try 3 times at that.
Yeah.
And you just heard me say, if we can't get them to pick up the phone, then we text them. We will, our VAs won't, but you should text them and tell them you're interested in buying their house and you'll get a lot of deals from the people who call you back.
Yes.
So now, well, first of all, if nobody's calling those leads to begin with, you don't have a business. So that's how important these virtual assistants are to you. And I promise you, if you want to take on that task yourself, that will last maybe a week tops before you're going to see why these virtual assistants are so valuable and so cheap for that matter. All right. What are some of the other services that your VAs do?
So they're going to manage your entire Dreams site for you. When you sign up for our service, at the 59 level, you're getting Dreams Lite, but at our mid level, you're going to get the entire Dreams system. So that is your CRM system, which they will manage for you. It is your website. It's your autoresponders. So it's kind of the entire package that you're going to need to run your real estate business effectively. And your VA is equipped to manage that entire site for you.
Not only will they manage your website, but they also manage your Dreams CRM system, which is the replacement for an employee that does all of the work for you, including keeps track of all your leads. I mean, we don't have time to tell everything that Dreams does. I use it almost daily for comps. It's the best comp site that I've seen out there today and the easiest to use. And that all comes with a $297 a month package that if you're ready to do business, you want to be at least at the $297 level, because you get a website and you get Dreams and you get a buyer's list already built in. You just plug it in and your VAs will do the plugging in. So when they're talking to buyers, they collect a little information and send it to the VA and they'll plug it in, or they can plug it in themselves. Our whole goal here is to try to get you guys to do a lot less and let us do it for you for a very, very insignificant price. Now, Pam, we need to tell them that the $297 level now, they got to add VA service on top of that.
Yes.
So that does not include VA service. So let's talk about what that costs before we go any further.
Yes. So at the 59 level and the 297 level, VA hours can be purchased. So you're going to purchase your time in either 5 or 10 hour blocks. So 5 hours is $105. And then 10 hours, we give you a little break. It's only $200 for 10 hours.
Okay. Now we got to make sure people understand that's not 10 hours of someone sitting in a chair. We measure their hours by the minutes they work. So they get charged by the minutes, not by the hour, which in reality is about a $6 or $7 an hour employee sitting there that's not your employee. And so you can buy that VA service as you need it, 5 hours at a time, 10 hours at a time, or whatever, as soon as you're in at least the $59 level. But it's also the $297 includes the $59, incidentally, which is the entire Gold Club site. We should tell them now there's a $500 setup fee to get a VA or to get into the $297 level, because that includes all your websites and all that stuff we got to set up for you. One-time fee, it's the same fee, regardless of whether it's for a VA or your $297 level. One-time fee, okay? And by the way, we waive that if you purchase mentoring or masters from us, to be discussed at another time, not today. All right, I want to go down the list of what all the other, you could do a bunch of other stuff for them in addition to calling sellers and managing their websites and posting their ads. What else you do?
Yes. So whenever you're on trying to sell one of your properties, if you want to create one of those lead pages, we can create that for you. All you have to do is send us the information. So we'll create that beautiful page that has the picture of the property, the description, all the details, and then we'll post that onto all the sites for you. So you won't have to do that. So essentially marketing those properties for you.
You not only post out on their site, but you post out on all the websites for them.
Yes.
That's where the traffic comes if it comes online. And that's pretty important when you're selling houses, because that's where all the pictures of the house are and the description of the house and the thing that makes them want to contact you. A lot of people want to go look at the house online before they go out in the field, if in fact they find it online first. All right. So you're going to create that flyer for them. They just got to get you the pictures and the description of the house, right?
Correct. And Dreams does a beautiful job. It's very professional. I haven't seen anything that looks as nice as what Dreams can do for them.
All right. Okay. Now, how many calls, give or take, does your team make in a given month to sellers for our students?
It varies from month to month, but I can tell you last month we did about 67,000 phone calls. That was quite a few dials. Yes.
But you mean you did 67,000 dials?
Yes. So of that, we only got about 11,000 people on the phone out of those 67,000 phone calls that we made.
Well, because a bunch of those calls was your second and your third dial to the same who wouldn't pick up the telephone. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We need to talk about the process of how you process leads when you get them from our students, because, you're not the only customer, guys. We have customers, but we do our best to spread the work out so that when one person does not monopolize it. How does that work now?
Okay, so you're going to be getting the leads directly from your Gold Club lead site. So you're going to take a look at those leads. They're not going directly to your VA. You need to look at them first and then forward those over to your VA. Your VA is going to examine those leads and kick out any duplicates. So if you've already got that in your system, your VA is going to make sure that we're not duplicating that lead for you. Then it's going to go into our master list of everybody's leads. And then we have a team of VAs that do nothing but calls. And they're going to take that list, and it's kind of first in, first out. So if your list was generated before somebody else's list, your leads are going to go and get called first. And then we just kind of call throughout the day. And we'll give you about an hour of calls a day. So if you load a massive amount of leads, we're not going to just sit there and focus on your leads. We're going to kind of try and spread the wealth out, like you said, Ron.
Well, it probably should be spread out for them to follow up on the back end anyway, instead of piling up on them, and then you don't want to feel like getting started at it. We didn't talk about the upper level. The upper level was $697 a month, but that includes everything we discussed plus 25 hours of VA service. So that'll save you about $125 a month if you're using 25 hours of VA service. I always suggest to people that they get into $297 and buy it as they need it. And then when they get to where they're using that many hours, go ahead and upgrade and save yourself $125. And you can downgrade as fast as you upgraded. Okay. And there's no long-term contracts, and there's no overtime without permission, is there?
No. So the great thing is you can see in real time everything that's happening on your account. And on our dashboard, you'll be able to see how much time you have remaining on your account. And when you see it getting low, you just tell your VA, hey, add 5, add 10 hours, whatever it is. And they'll likely give you a call ahead of time and say, looks like you're running a little low. Would you like to continue us calling for you? And they will.
And we need to make sure everybody understands that they're not getting a VA. They're getting a whole team of VAs. Only one of those are going to make the calls for you, because not everybody's qualified to do that, are they, Pam?
That's right. Yeah.
They're early.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of training and patience, and some people just aren't cut out for it. And your turnover is nowhere near as much as when we started, because you got better at selecting the right people. But hey, let's just face it, everybody's not going to sit there all day and call sellers on the phone, even if they think they're okay with it.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
So it's you're always training and retraining. But you and I both hear all the time, but hey, we can get VAs cheaper than that. That's $21. That's
right.
$21 an hour. That's expensive. You want to do that before I let them have it?
Yes. Well, it's one thing to have a VA that'll work for you, but it's another thing to have one that's trained with Ron's methodology. They're constantly refreshed, and we go over their calls with them. We try and make them as best as possible. If one happens to decide they don't want to do this anymore, we'll get another one in there very quickly. So there's really no lag time in between that. So that's one of the main benefits.
Is you got different jobs for different people, and our customers are getting charged by the minute that is being used. And they don't have to worry about hiring or firing or training, and more importantly, replacing them when they go down, not if, but when they go down. And think about it, guys, when they go down, now you got to go out and find another one and retrain them all over again. And you've got a big gap in your business. And I'll remind you, if nobody's calling these leads, you don't have a business. That brings that pressure back on you to get it done. And you and I both know what's going to happen then. There's going to be a bigger gap in your business. So the point I'm making is you're not getting a VA. You're getting a team of VAs, each assigned to their specific duties. And if one goes down, then the other one can jump right in there, and you won't have any gap in your business. And that's the way we've set this system up. And that's what Pam does. She deals with this giant daycare center day in and day out to make sure that it flows correctly. You couldn't give me her job. So
yeah,
I'm glad somebody is willing to do all of that work, and she's really good at it. Pam, how many VAs do we have right now?
Right now, we're up to 32 VAs. Um,
32 VAs.
yeah. And I do want to correct you on one thing. You are getting a team of VAs, but you are going to be assigned to one particular VA. So you
Right.
will have the contact information on your assigned VA. You're going to have their direct desk phone number as well as their email contact. So you communicate directly with that one VA, and that VA is who's going to coordinate all these tasks for you behind the scenes.
Yes. And if you don't like the VA, just tell you and you'll get another VA, right?
Yes. I have plenty to choose from. So.
Okay. And in fact, if you have an issue with your VA folks, you're going to get Pam's contact information as well. Whatever it is, she's going to fix it very quickly. But I want to make it very clear here. Our VAs are actually human beings. And in that light, they aren't perfect. And there's probably going to be some kind of issues along the way, as there is with anything else you do in life. So I hear people complaining every now and then about why something didn't happen or whatever. And we go to work and we check it out. And we find out that it is not a real complaint because there's nothing involving us that we could have done about it. But your VAs are not running your business for you, folks. They are only there to serve what they do, and that is to take away some of the minutiae out of your life. They're not making decisions for you. They're not real estate investors. They're not negotiating deals for you. They're there to fill in the blanks on a property information sheet and use that system so that you can get a constant flow of leads, and all you got to do is make a quick closing call and get them in or out using my scripts. Pam, why don't you describe some of the issues that you have from time to time, student versus VA, and I'll let you discuss that.
Yeah, on occasion, there are some personality conflicts, which is why I'm happy to step in. It's not a big deal to change you from one VA to another. There's different styles. Everybody communicates differently. So that's one of the issues. Something else that happens on occasion is they feel like they're not getting response back quick enough. And a lot of times that is expectation setting. So if you email your VA and they don't reply within 5 minutes, understand that they have a large load of clients that they're managing. So I recommend the turnaround time is at least 24 hours in order to get an answer.
And you probably get one quicker, but come on, be realistic. You're going to get to respond any faster. You can't even get your spouse to respond. So, yeah, they do have other customers. But remember, they're there only to serve you. So it ain't like they got a lot of other million things going on. They just have, that's all. And one VA has that many customers. So you're going to get as good a service as you're going to get from any VA service. And I'm telling you, actually a lot better service. And sometimes, like we said, people send in 10, 15 leads at a time. And the next day wonder why they haven't all been called. Things like that. You got to be patient. What other issues do we have? Because I know that.
Well, I had someone say the other day that we were calling their leads too quickly.
Okay. That's a new.
Yeah, that we were using his time too quickly to call all of the leads that he sent in. So.
Got to be kidding me.
Yeah. So I had to chuckle at that. But, whatever leads that you send in to us, we do make it a point. We have to call them. So make sure that if you're sending in something, you're not sending in just a list of 200 expired listings, for example, that you haven't already marketed to.
Yeah, we're not going to call that list, are we?
No.
We're going to call people that advertise they have a house for sale or that have responded to your advertising and have a house for sale. So we're not the company. If you want to go throw us a list of 5,000 people and have us call it, that's an outbound telemarketing company. That's not us. We're virtual assistants. We provide all kinds of services beyond just picking up the phone. So what? Anything else that
the most of it is really just expectation setting. And like we already discussed some of the numbers, send us a steady flow of leads. I would say at least 25 a week in order to try and get you that one yes PI or the 4 or 5 no's that go along with that on a regular basis. So it really, you kind of have to tailor what your expectations are to what we can deliver.
You say send us, you really mean most of their leads are going to come through their Go Club with them doing absolutely nothing. However, I need to comment on that. And that is, guys, that's not how you want to run your business either. Your job is to get out there and generate leads and get sellers to call you. Now, I teach you a whole plethora of things to do that with. We got all kinds of sources to do that and resources. But the more sellers you get calling you, the more motivated they are and the more deals you're going to get with less amount of leads. Because I will confess the leads that advertise online are your lowest common denominator of leads. They are the least productive. They are the hardest to get on the phone. And yet every time we do an event, live event, we do deals after deals after deals just from that pool of leads. If you get something going, people calling you, you're going to see a massive difference in the quality of those leads. And this is all about, there's two big keys here if you want to master this terms business, and that is mastering that phone call to that seller after we get you the sheet, and then working on getting more quality leads instead of quantity of leads. All right. Anything else we need to discuss before we get done here?
I would just say that follow-up is key. And a lot of times, we're sending you information. It's up to you guys to follow up with that information. And then we love getting reports back on how successful you were, or if it didn't work out for you. Just let us know. We're always happy to hear what's going on with your business. So please communicate that back with us.
Communicate with any issues, and we'll solve them if they're solvable. And use the VAs for what they're intended to be used for. Take the grief off of you. We're trying to kill the minutia in your life. And the longer you hang around me, the more we're going to kill that minutia, because I'm a minutia killer from way back. And by the way, what if I stop? Can I start if I need? Can I quit for a while if I need to?
Yes. So we have decided that we understand if you want to take a vacation or you've got life happens, you can take up to 6 months off, and we can reset you all back up, free of charge.
Okay.
So,
on the VA service now, that does not include the 297 level. If they stop that, how long do they have before they have to pay another setup fee?
So it's 6 months. So if you come up month 7, then we'll have to reset you back up.
All right. Well, I'm sure we missed a lot, but we're out of time. So let me tell everybody how they can go get some training on how to buy and sell houses without using your money or credit. So you need VAs. All right.
Yeah.
Go to thementorpodcast.com/PC. That's podcast. thementorpodcast.com/PC. And you'll see about an hour and 15-minute training where I went through the whole terms business step by step for you. And there's absolutely no charge. A lot of people making a lot of money out here doing what we're doing. And it starts right here with getting these leads. And, we've been doing this. How long we've been doing this VA thing? Because I told Jennifer, this is crazy. We don't want to do this. This is nice.
Yeah. It's been about 5 years now.
It's been longer than that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I've been with you for about that long. So.
Okay. All right. God bless you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Pam. And thanks everybody for listening in. We'll see you on the next issue of the Mentor Podcast. And once more, thementorpodcast.com/PC. See you soon.
All right. Thank you.
That's all for this edition of the Mentor Podcast. To connect with Ron and learn how you can attain financial freedom, as well as up-to-date strategies to grow and protect your wealth based on today's discussion, go to www.connectwiththementor.com.